3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and in that 13th stitch, switch back to our main color. And on row, we're on row 2, 4, 6, 8. On row 9, we need our contrasting color in the same position, so we can just bring it up and leave it to finish that last main color stitch. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. You can already see the bottom of the heart. So for row 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, we're on row 9, and you can always count if you can see there are ridges between every 2 rows of single crochet stitches in case you lose your place. So for row 9, we need 1 main color stitch, change to the contrasting color in the last step of that stitch. We're going to work 13 contrasting color stitches. And in the last contrasting color stitch, we change back to the main color. We're going to need that in the same position on the way back. So we pull it up out of the way and do our last main color stitch, chain 1 and turn. So for row 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, row 10, our pattern says 1 main color stitch, change to our contrasting color again. And we need 13 contrasting color stitches. And the last, switch back to our main color, pull it up out of the way, and do our last main color stitch, chain 1 and turn. And row 11 is worked the same way. We need 1 main color stitch, change to our contrasting color, 13 contrasting color stitches, being sure to hold that main color along the tops of each stitch as you go. Again, holding the main color across the top of each stitch as you crochet over it helps to hide the color a little better. And the last main color, or contrasting color stitch, we're going to switch back to the main color, pull it up out of the way, and do our main color stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now row 12, we're starting to form the top of the heart. We need 1 main color stitch, switch to our contrasting color. We need 6 contrasting color stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the 6th, change back to our main color. We need 1 main color stitch. In the last step of that stitch, change back to your contrasting color. Then we need 6 contrasting color stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the last step. The yarn's trying to roll away. Switch back to our main color. Pull the yarn up out of the way, the contrasting color, and finish our last stitch in our main color. Chain 1 and turn. For row 13, we need 2 main color stitches. There's 1, and we're going to just work over that contrasting color as we come to it. In that last step, change back to the contrasting color. And we need 4 contrasting color stitches. 1, oops, I dropped it. 2, 3, 4, and in that last step of the 4th, switch back. We need 3 main color stitches. Last step, switch back to contrasting color. For 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3. In the 4th, the last step, switch back to the main color. We're going to pull the contrasting color up out of the way and do our last 2 main color stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Now we need 3 main color stitches. This is row 14. It's 1, 2. On the 3rd one, we're going to work over that contrasting color and change to contrasting color in the last part of that stitch. And we need 2 contrasting color stitches. In the last step, change back. Now we need 5 main color stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th, change back to our contrasting color, for which we need 2 contrasting color stitches. 1 in the last step of the 2nd, change back and pull it up out of the way, and finish with 3 main color stitches. Row 15, the very last row of the coaster, you need 15 main color stitches, and in order to secure the yarn tail on your contrasting color, we're going to continue working over it across this row. Okay, now at this point we can cut our contrasting color, and to work our border you continue with the main color, and all of the squares have the same border. You chain 1 but do not turn, so instead of flipping your work, you're going to work down the side into the row ends. So we're going to place 1 single crochet in each row end, and you can see, like I said, there's ridges. Every 2 rows you can see kind of a little ridge between the 2 single crochet rows. So you have 15 rows, so you need 15 stitches along this edge. So we've chained 1, and you're going to work around the stitch on the end of each row. So there's 1, 2, 3, I'll try to go a little slower, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Oops. Now you're going to work in these unworked loops of your foundation chain, and for each corner you need 3 single crochet stitches to make it lay flat. So we're going to work 3 in this one. It's 1, 2, 3, and we can hide that yarn tail as we go. 1 stitch in the unworked loop of each foundation chain across. Don't forget, at the end, we need 3 in the corner stitches. And we're going to have 1 single in the end of each row back up this side. That would be 15 more stitches. That's 2 of them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. In the corner we make 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1 stitch across the very last row. This was row 15 of your main square. 1 stitch in each, 1 single crochet in each stitch along that row. Now we're to the very first stitch we made, and we need 2 more stitches in the same stitch the very first single was in. And then you're going to join with a slip stitch, and to fasten off you just yarn over, pull through, cut the yarn, pull that loop all the way through, and then with a yarn needle or your hook you weave in your ends. You just weave them back and forth through your stitches. And that's how you make our row count purple heart coaster pattern.